Well, this week we're focused on Namibia, taking a closer look at the country's economy and the industries it relies on. Located in the southwestern part of Africa, it is home to the world's oldest desert. In CNN's ION series, we've taken a look at its famous diamond mining industry, as well as the big business of beer and its German influences. We've also explored how Namibia is trying to protect its fish stocks and make the industry a source of work for its vast pool of unemployed. And we've seen how black farmers are faring as they look to their own piece of land in post-apartheid Namibia. Yet, despite the fact that Namibia boasts several thriving industries, unemployment is still a major problem. The World Bank estimates that between 30 and 49% of the country's working population are out of a job, and it says youth unemployment is even higher. Joining us now with more on that is Theo Sparreboom. He's a senior economist at the International Labour Organization. Thank you so much for joining us. In terms of youth unemployment, what sort of figures are we talking about then?
Very good morning. Thanks very much. Youth unemployment rate in Namibia is about 59%. That is for the population aged 20 to 24, which is much higher than the overall rate, which is around 38%. But I think what is important in the case of Namibia is that in the current crisis environment, what you see in many European economies is that unemployment rates are strongly linked to the economy. That is, some economies are really in crisis. The prime example, of course, being Greece. The Greek economy has been shrinking for 4 or 5 years in a row. This is not the situation in Namibia. Namibia was hit by the crisis, but also has an economy that has been growing for the past 20 years, depending too much on weather conditions, but still averaging about 5%. So there is economic growth, there's a relatively strong economy, there's a high productivity level in Namibia, and you also see that in the labor market. That is, in much of sub-Saharan Africa, the issue is not so much unemployment, as well very low quality employment. So up to 80% in some countries, people are doing what we call own account work. That means that they are out, they may do some work, but often low productivity and in an informal setting. In Namibia, you see the opposite situation. That is, a lot of the work there is of higher quality and more productive. The problem in Namibia is that only a very small part of the population indeed has employment. So that is what you see in the unemployment rate. You see that also in the what we call the employment to population ratio, which is the part of the population that is employed.
So what's the solution here? Because obviously employment in any economy is important to get the economy going. How can they boost employment? Because, as you're implying, a lot of the jobs they promise aren't that great anyway.
The plan at the moment, Namibia is on its 4th development plan, NDP4 as they call it, and that plan focuses very strongly on the creation of jobs. The idea is that in the next 4 years, the number of jobs will increase by roughly 20%. They want to create an additional 90,000 jobs, and they want to have decent jobs. So the challenge for the government is to, on the one hand, expand the quantity of employment, to capture a larger part of the population, offer them decent work, without running into the trap that many other African countries face, that you have extensive employment and low unemployment rates, but of a very low, the sort of employment that is created is a very low quality. And what they have to do and what they're planning to do is a range of measures that is giving incentives more vigorously to certain industries, in particular manufacturing industry, that has a potential for far more employment.
It's a tough challenge ahead, isn't it? Theo Sparreboom, thank you very much indeed for joining us from the ILO.